Hello guys, hope you're well. Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. In this video, I'm going to discuss a topic which frequently comes up in various forums and Facebook groups, and that is the issue of whether you should ever pay for a trading course. Now, I'm the member of various trading groups online, and I often see a scenario such as this. Somebody on the group asks, "Hey guys, I'm considering buying X's trading course, but I'm not sure it's worth the money. What do you think about this?" Then there is often a number of comments such as, "Just learn yourself. Courses are a waste of money. You can find it all online for free. Just search on YouTube, you'll find everything you need. You need to work out your own strategy to give you the edge." And another one, "If the people selling these courses actually made money trading, why would they be offering their secrets for sale online?" Now let's be fair, there will always be people out there who are cheap charlies and unwilling to ever pay for anything, and those people unfortunately are never going to make it in trading. This is because if they are not willing to pay for anything of value, it is unlikely they will ever get to the point where they are investing any substantial amounts of money in trading, which of course is what you eventually need to be doing to make it into the big time. This behaviour is often indicative of people who have poor relationships with money. Now, if you've ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you would clearly be able to slot this type of personality into the poor dad category. Basically, if you're not prepared to invest in anything, then how can you ever hope to make anything? Now, essentially, when we look at all of these comments on the Facebook groups and online forums, there are really just two words to address them: time and money. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's first of all take a look at time. Now, you only have a limited amount of time in your day, and in fact, your life. And it is 100% up to you how you choose to spend this time. Now, you may be lucky and have lots of free time, or you may have a job and other commitments which make it difficult for you to make free time to do anything else. And perhaps you have decided to sacrifice something in order to free up your time for you to learn how to trade. Now, maybe you love playing football on a Sunday morning, or a round of golf with your mates every weekend, but you've taken the decision to give up all of this so that you can learn how to trade. However, how much time you have is only one issue. As I said, one person might have loads of free time on their hands and another hardly any. But how much value do you place on your time? Perhaps if you have little to no free time, it is more valuable to you than somebody who has a lot of free time. So how much value do you place on your time? Think about your hourly rate at work, or if you're self-employed, work out a rough estimate of what an hour of your time would be worth. Now, if we look back at the first comment from the Facebook group, "Just learn yourself," this is an extremely vague and ambiguous comment to make. By learning yourself, I guess this might include researching on Google, watching lots of YouTube videos, and reading books. No, it seems we mustn't pay for anything, so books are out of the question. Now, I would imagine it might include trial and error. Well, we'll come on to that later when I move on to the money side of things. So let's just stick to the time element here. Okay, so let's say you've decided to grab as much free content as you can on Google and on YouTube. You've joined a few Facebook groups to see if anyone is giving free advice. Where do you even start? How do you sort the wheat from the chaff? How on earth do you know what advice is legit and which is bullshit? Maybe you could take some free courses. Sure, there are some about, but what is the motive for someone giving away a free course? Sure, it's to sell you something else, albeit a subscription of some kind or a piece of software maybe. Just how invested are they in you being successful from just taking their free course? Now, as a caveat to this point, yes, I myself offer a free course, and in particular the free introduction into tennis trading. However, I make very clear that this is an introduction and not a fully comprehensive training course to get you up and running in tennis trading. But that is what my main course, the Complete Guide to Trading Tennis Matches, does. And believe it or not, that is not free. So how much time is all of this going to take you? Now, it could take you 20 plus hours of simply digging around on the internet to find what you think is sound advice. Now let's say it does take you 20 hours of digging around and you now have a load of information, much of it completely useless and misleading, but you've invested 20 hours of research. Now the average hourly rate in the UK is £15 per hour. So if you valued your time at a meagre £15 per hour, you have spent essentially £300 worth of your time just sifting through stuff online, let alone actually sitting down to piece it all together and then get testing it out. And not to mention that this is your free time. Now I've put a monetary value on your time here to make a point, but what's more likely, even more of value to you, is the time you spend with your friends and family, which you simply cannot put a figure on. Now I am very interested to hear your thoughts on this issue of time, so please feel free to add anything in the comments section, but I think I've made this point clear as day. Time is a major consideration when thinking about purchasing any form of training course versus trying to learn yourself. So secondly, let's take a look at the issue of money. Sure, you will save yourself the money that you would have paid on the course fee, be this £50, £100, maybe even up to a few £1,000. Well done you. You've saved yourself a few quid. But, and this is a big but, 9 times out of 10, that money that you have saved by not paying to be properly educated is a fraction of the amount of money that you will lose in not only your time, as I mentioned earlier, but also in testing out various strategies and losing money through trial and error, or by following poor advice. Now I have a student that demonstrates this point perfectly. This chap, I won't name him for obvious reasons, however he has agreed to let me use his story as an anecdote in this video. Let's call him Mr. P. Now Mr. P first emailed me about 2 years ago inquiring about my tennis trading course, telling me how he'd been trading for a little while himself but had lost a lot of money testing out different strategies, and actually the true figure he gave me was £2,000. Now I gave him all the info he needed and then didn't hear from him until about 6 months later when I received another email from him saying, "Fred, I really need to buy your course. I've now lost another £1,000 trading bank." Lo and behold, I didn't hear from him again for about another year, when finally I had heard from him again telling me how yes, yet again he had lost even more money and professing that tennis trading is perhaps not for him. Now long story short, he did finally go on to purchase my course very recently. Now had he invested in a proper education in the first place, he not only would have saved himself from losing over £3,000, but also all of that time he spent trying to learn by himself and losing the money. Now it's one thing spending your time making money, but to spend all of that time and lose money, well, just have a think about it. I don't need to say anything really. Now this real life situation demonstrates perfectly why this following comment is so ludicrous if given to a newbie trader. You need to work out your own strategy to give you the edge. Now this is a real comment made by a real Facebook group member, and I just wonder how much money this person would be willing to lose or how much time they are willing to spend or waste in order to find that edge, if ever they do. Now I think one of the take-home messages, as well as everything else I've said in this video, is that you should be very careful about taking advice from people in Facebook groups or other website forums. I believe this to be particularly true when we try to make sense of this comment, which again was on a Facebook group. If the people selling these courses actually made money trading, why would they be offering their secrets for sale online? Now this is an interesting point, especially if you consider this point in relation to any other type of education. Now does anyone who wishes to offer training or courses have to be a failure at what they actually teach? Does a medical professor who teaches medical students do so because he is not competent enough to actually practice medicine? Absolutely not. And in fact, many medical lecturers and professors also practice alongside teaching. Why? because they are an expert in their field and have a passion for sharing their knowledge. Sure, there are people out there flogging crap that people buy, but to suggest that anyone selling a course is a charlatan is incredibly ignorant. So please be careful when taking any advice from these groups or forums. Now, you will often find incredibly negative people in these groups, as well as some positive, helpful people. But if you take the time to search through users' previous comments, you can usually work out what type of person they are pretty quickly. So to conclude this video, I've provided you with some food for thought if you are considering whether it is worth paying for a trading course. Now please leave a comment if you have anything to add to this debate, or indeed I'd be particularly interested to hear from you if you really feel that people should not buy online trading courses. Now for me, it's a complete no-brainer, but I'm always keen to hear your thoughts and opinions. Until the next time, good luck with your trading and remember to have fun. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit like and visit my channel and subscribe for more videos. And if you'd like to begin your journey into tennis trading, then please visit protennistrader.com, where you can sign up to my free online video course, An Introduction into Tennis Trading. I'll see you soon.